Hi, everybody. I'm Eugene Ganello, and I'm here with John Kibler, pitcher from the New Jersey Jackals. John, the Newark Bears have been a worthy opponent. You're 6-4 against them this season, but when you seem to win, you seem to score a lot of runs against them. How does it feel as a pitcher to have a lot of run to support?
Well, it's always good to have a lot of run support. We've got a good lineup, good defense behind us. The pitching, as long as we pitch well and have a good defense and we keep hitting, then we'll keep having success.
Now, it's a small league this year, and you play the same teams over and over again. Does it ever get boring to play the same teams?
I wouldn't say boring. It does make it tougher because you're playing the same guys each time. So you have to figure out different things about the players and find new strategies to face them with.
What are some of the strategies you're thinking about using tonight against the Newark Bears?
Well, a pitcher could go in and you could think the last game we played against them, you threw inside a lot. Maybe this time start them away, start them with off-speed pitches. It could be anything. Really their swing dictates how you pitch to them.
And before we were talking earlier, and you mentioned that you read some books in the clubhouse, didn't really partake in the NHL 2000 league that some of the other players participated. Can you mention some of the books that you've been reading over the past few days?
Well, I'm still in school at Towson University, so I read some economics books. I read The Economist, a magazine. Right now I'm reading the second book of The Hunger Games, so that's kind of what I'm into right now.
That's all the time we have today. With John Kibler, I'm Eugene Ganello. Good night, everybody.
Hello, I'm Mike Panamento, and I'm here with John Kibler. We are going to have an interview right now. And John, my first question for you today is, what players did you look up to when you were growing up?
Well, when I was growing up, I'm a Baltimore Orioles fan, so I watched Cal Ripken Jr. a lot. I liked watching him as a pitcher. I watched Randy Johnson a lot. I'm a left-handed starting pitcher, so watching him was fun for me. Roger Clemens' work ethic, I try to do the same thing in my prep for the games out here. So, I try to watch a lot of guys, a lot of the big stars of past times.
Did you take any techniques from Cal Ripken Jr. or Roger Clemens in your approach to the mound?
Well, both of those guys have great work ethics, and I try to do the same thing. So I just work hard on my off days in between starts, and I take it all out there every fifth day.
Who do you feel has been an unexpected X factor off the bench that's really come to play that nobody was expecting to do anything much of?
Well, I think all of our players, equally expect a lot of one another. I wouldn't say, no one expects anything out of anybody, but when you're called upon during the game, if you're on the bench or whether you're starting, you're expected to do the job, and we've been able to do that this year.
You told me you were a reliever inside high school before. What's the difference between being a reliever and being a starter here in the Jackals?
I'd say the prep for starting is much more difficult. You have a lot more work you need to get done. As a closer, you go out there, you have a chance to go out there more often. So if you do have a down game, you can come back and, get back what you lost. As a starter, you have 5 days to think about that before you can get back out on the mound. So it makes it a little bit more tough mentally.
Thank you, John. That's all the time we have for today. I'm Mike Panamento with John Kibler. Now back to you guys at the studio.
Hi everyone, I'm Reed Keller. We're live at Yogi Berra Stadium with John Keebler. And John, how would you describe your last start and the success you had in it?
Well, I had a tough June. I've been working hard to get past that and come out here and give our team a chance to win. My last start in Rockland, I started out a little shaky, but then started working well with Chris Henderson, the catcher that was catching that day, and turned things around. We ended up losing the game, but overall, I was happy with how the game went.
How would you describe your relationship with the catchers on this team?
I'd say we have a good one. We're out here every day with one another. We try to work hard together, and it's a battle out there every game that we go out there. So you need to be on the same page. You need to be, you just need to keep working together and just try and find and have success.
Now, in the independent league, there's a lot of chances for guys to get picked up and leave the team, but so far that hasn't happened in the past 2 weeks. How would you say that's helped the chemistry this year?
Well, it's good to have guys together. Everyone is trying to get picked up, of course. The longer the guys are together, usually the better the team is. I guess getting picked up, it all depends on opportunities, the right time, whether a team's looking for someone or not. It's all, well, you can't really think about it. You can just go out there and play, and if it happens, it happens.
All right, and now there's only 2 playoff spots this year, and it goes right to the championship game. So far, it looks like it's between you and Quebec. How much added pressure does that put on this team?
I don't think it puts any pressure on, really. We go out there and we play every day. We try to win as best we can. I feel like we have the best team in the league. We're still trying to put things together a little bit. We have our rough spots. That's all part of the season. It's a long season. It's something we have to grind out together, and I feel like at the end we'll come out on top.
All right, thank you. I'm Reed Keller. This is John Kibler, and we were live from Yogi Berra Stadium. Good night.
Good afternoon. I am Brendan Baker from Yogi Berra Stadium alongside Jackal pitcher Zach Woods. Now, Zach, you guys have an interesting pregame ritual. You guys play NHL 2000 in the locker room. Do the games get heated? What's that like?
Some of the games do get heated. It's very intense. We do have a rankings board. So, of course, with a rankings board, anybody's going to be competitive. But it is a lot of fun. And I think as a team, it brings us a little bit closer together because we do have a little bit of a team bond with that.
The team that you're chasing that's in first place, the Quebec Capitals, they've lost 3 straight games. Are you guys doing scoreboard watching? Are you keeping up with what they're doing or completely focused on your game?
Honestly, I have no idea what their record is. I didn't know that they were in first place until today. I really don't pay attention to what other teams are doing. As long as we're doing good, that's all I care about.
Now, the Jackals have the Player of the Month and the Player of the Week. What is it like for you as a pitcher to pitch on a team that has such productive hitters? Does that make things easier on you?
It makes things a lot more comfortable. It's always good to be in a pitcher going out there and knowing that you have good hitters behind you or good defense behind you. It's always a very comfortable feeling.
Zach Woods, and I'm Brendan Baker from Yogi Berra Stadium. Back to the studio.
Hello, I'm Ryan Siegel live from Yogi Berra Stadium, and I'm alongside with right-handed pitcher Zach Woods of the New Jersey Jackals. Zach, you've been mowing down people in the late innings. Does that boost your confidence when you're pitching?
It does help me out with my confidence a little bit, but it's not all about confidence. It's about going up there and throwing up zeros as you come in the 7th, 8th, or whatever inning I may come in. It may be 7th or 8th inning, but my goal is to go out there and throw up a zero.
You guys are playing the Newark Bears tonight. You guys have had great run support against them. Does the run support help your pitching? Does it relax you when you're coming into the game? Does it give you an extra, reassurance?
Yeah, obviously it does. The more runs that a team scores, the pitcher's going to feel more comfortable about what he's doing out there. Regardless, if you score 5 runs, I'm feeling pretty comfortable about it. If they score 10 runs, even more, and so. So it's always a good feeling that you got great run support on a team like this.
All right, you guys mentioned that you had a ritual before the game where you played NHL 2000. Does that get you revved up for the game? So if you come in, it give you a little added measure because you just got fired up by the rest of your teammates?
I wouldn't necessarily say it gives us that little extra in the game, but when we are playing in the locker room and stuff like that, it's always on people's minds. It's constantly talked about in the dugout because it's always people cracking on each other because someone lost. So it's a very interesting thing. It's very fun.
All right, that's all the time we have for now. Thanks a lot. Along with Zach Woods, I'm Ryan Siegel. Back to you in the studio.
Hi, everybody. I'm Brad Dallas reporting from Yogi Berra Stadium. I'm joined today by Jackals pitcher Zach Woods. Zach, you guys are 27 and 21 on the year so far, about halfway through the season. First off, how do you guys feel? Are you guys very happy with how you've done so far this year? Do you guys plan to do better? How do you feel personally of you guys have done so far this season?
I feel like we've had a pretty good season so far. I think that if we keep hitting and stuff like that, I think that we're going to be fine. I think that we have a very good shot of winning the whole thing if we keep hitting. If our pitching stays the same, I think we should have no problem being in top contention or even winning the whole thing.
Today, pretty hot weather day. You guys are going to be playing later on tonight. On days like this during the summer, as you get into the dog days of summer and the weather just keeps on heating up, how do you guys deal with that? Is it more nutrition? Do you guys worry about physically? How do you go about on a day like this, your preparation to get ready for a game like this on a very hot day?
Honestly, I drink a lot of water. That's really all I do is just drink about a gallon of water a day. I try to eat somewhat healthy. That way I don't feel sluggish out here, especially in a hot weather day. Other than that, it's just water, nutritious, and that's it. And that's all I do.
As you look forward a little bit to the second half, I know it's always one game at a time, but do you guys what are your real expectations as we go on to the rest of the year and ultimately to culminate at the end of the year? How do you guys project yourselves to finish out the year?
I think that we have a very, very good shot of winning the thing. As long as, like I said earlier, as long as we keep hitting good and playing good defense and pitching good, all aspects of the game, I think that we have a very good shot of winning the whole thing.
All right, thanks a lot, Zach. Good luck tonight. Once again, reporting from Yogi Berra Stadium, I'm Brad Dalius with Zach Woods. Now let's go back to our studio.
Hello, everybody. I'm Evan Siegel, standing outside of Yogi Berra Stadium, home of the Jersey Jackals. I'm standing by with pitcher John Kibler. And John, we talk a lot about the atmosphere in people's locker rooms. How has that affected the way you guys build relationships as teammates?
Well, we have a great group of guys in the locker room this year. We get along really well. I mean, we've got veterans in the clubhouse like Isaac Pavlik and Angel Baroa. They bring a lot of excitement to the team. And just overall, when you have a good group of guys, it's fun being here. It's fun playing the game.
Great. Now, you guys are 5.5 games back of Quebec. What is your approach in terms of being able to catch them and seizing the top spot in this league?
Well, can't lose. We got to keep going out there and playing and competing and just trying to win every game that we can and hope that they hit a stalemate and, we can get on a good run here of a bunch of games consecutively. So that's all we can do is keep going out there and competing.
Now, earlier you mentioned Angel Baroa and his presence as it affects, to give it a veteran presence in the locker room and out on the field. How does it affect your team's chemistry to have a guy who's been around in the major leagues before and with your team?
Well, it's fun having him out there. He brings a different kind of element to the game with his knowledge of the game, being in the major leagues and where we're striving to be. And he brings a lot of excitement. He's got a big personality, as you could say. But, having him there is great. So.
Thank you very much, John. That's all the time we have for now. I'm Evan Siegel, standing by with John Kibler. Let's go back up to the booth.
Hello, folks. I'm Chase Levitt here at Yogi Berra Stadium with New Jersey Jackals pitcher John Kibler. Now, John, how'd you rate your season so far?
I think we're doing well. We're in second place right now, a few games behind Quebec. We're going to go out there and keep trying to win games and keep competing.
Now, you're currently in second place in the division. Now, second place, it's okay. You're still going to make a playoff spot. How do you feel about being second place and with teams being about 10 games behind you?
Well, no team likes to be in second place. Every team's trying to be in first place, so that's what we're working towards. We work hard out here every day, and we're going to continue to work hard every day until we can get up to first place.
Now, you mentioned that at the clubhouse, you have a pretty strong clubhouse here. Mm-hmm. From what I've heard, not going to say who, you have a couple of NHL hockey video game players there. Can you, what do they seem to be doing down there all the time?
Well, they play a lot of NHL before the games, after the games. It's a fun game to have, a little break from everyday baseball. So they have a bunch of guys. I think it's 10 or 12 guys that compete for the rankings every week, and they have a good time with it. And it's a different element that we have every day. It's a nice kind of reprieve.
Now, this season, the Jackals sign Angel Baroa to be your starting shortstop. Mm-hmm. Baroa's a major league shortstop defensively. He's a very, very good shortstop. How much of a confidence booster is it to have a major league shortstop at that position?
Well, it's great. It's great having him back there. He has the experience. He's been there before. He's been where we're all trying to get to. He's a great guy to have in the clubhouse. He brings a lot of experience. So knowing that he's back there and kind of leading the defense is a great thing to have on a team.
Well, that's all the time we have today, folks. I'm Chase Levitt here at Yogi Berra Stadium, Little Falls, New Jersey. Next game, 7 p.m. tonight, Jackals versus the Newark Bears. That's all the time we have today, folks. I'm Chase Levitt.